Thought you should know that our name is the Schmitty. Hey, what is going on, guys? Happy Saturday. So this is a different vibe for me here today. Super excited for this. So normally I do the streams during the week, but I wanted to test this out here today and do a Saturday one. Now I know it's the weekend and people might be doing things, so maybe the attendance dips just a tad, but it's all good, man, because I still want to spit some truth here today, and I had a good amount of thoughts yesterday that I wanted to share with you guys, so that's what I'm going to do in this episode. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be fun. I love it. Hey, Matt, what is up, brother? What is going on? So just a little live stream hanging out with the squad here. What's good? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, a few of you guys over here. IG is a little slow today, but whatever. It's a Saturday. Also, majority of my following is in a different time zone, so they're probably out on boats and shit, so it's all good. Just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys here today, so I'm going to pause this guy, and we're going to get you guys another live podcast for y'all. So it's going to be a good time. Matt's tuning in, bro. I love it. Cool. So I'm going to hit this recording in 3, 2, and let me just find this guy. Cool. And I'm going to do my intro, and we're going to have a good time. 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, mother truckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. This is your favorite coach, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, I'm talking about how we need to kill the inner critic, how you could do that, how it makes all the difference, how you could apply the concepts, well, the ones that I'm talking about in this episode, to your life for the better. And I noticed it yesterday because yesterday I actually ended up getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is completely not what I do. But I went to go meet my coach for a workout, and he works out at 4:30 in the morning. So I went to go and do that. Now I'm starting this episode off with that because I noticed a tremendous difference in my mood, in my energy, and with how I showed up to all my calls yesterday. And I thought it was really interesting how much of a palatable difference that made with just my day-to-day activities, because my normal schedule, it was the same, right? Like, I'll be honest with you guys, like every single day pretty much looks the same for me, but I noticed a massive difference in that. Now listen, I wasn't just doing this for fun, like my coach is very on point with his schedule. Like, his time is extremely valuable, and I value his the same way I value mine, but I share that because I got 3 hours of sleep to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and hit the gym when I didn't have to. I literally was given an extra rest day from my coach from last week's check-in, and my coach told me that I didn't have to train. So think about this for a second. Think about this, okay? I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to train when I didn't have to just get 30 minutes of my coach's time so he could look at my business. And the 30 minutes that I got allowed me to just see 1 to 2 things differently that I could go and implement, which is going to make a tremendous difference for me for the next few months. Now, I got so excited from that it allowed me to show up with more passion, energy, and enthusiasm for all of my coaching calls and all of my meetings for that day, which was yesterday, right? So I wanted to come on here and share that with you guys, that like killing the inner critic, the bitch voice, that's in your head every single day that tells you to hit snooze, to not do your workouts, is just going to continue to get louder the more that you feed that. So then the question becomes, well, okay, how do I change that, right? Like, it sounds good in theory. We're talking about how do you kill it? How do you silence that? And for me, that's why I believe so much in fitness and training and nutrition and working on yourself and getting good sleep and water and limiting things like fucking sugar and pizza and alcohol and all of that bullshit. And that's why I have a lot of conviction in what we deliver inside of our coaching program. Like, it's not a sales pitch at all. Like, for those who followed me for a little bit, like currently I'm at capacity for my one-on-one coaching clients. Like, I'm actively not really looking to take on much more. If you were interested, you could join the wait list, but I'm really looking to transition into more like prep style clients, people that are trying to do bodybuilding shows, because that's what I do. And that's what I enjoy. But I'm not going to spend any time really on that. I just wanted to really hammer this concept because, yes, it was like eye-opening to me. And it's like, it's funny when I think about it, because like most of us are aware that, hey, like I should get up early, right? Like I should probably work on my fitness goals. I should probably take care of myself, but we don't do it and we choose not to. And we don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I could tell you for a fucking fact that it does. So here's the thing. If you want to make more money, listen to this really quick. You need to be in the gym. You need to be exercising. You need to be getting up early, moving your body, choosing better foods, because that's going to allow you to become a more energetic version of yourself. And that's what we want, right? Like everyone, I mean, listen, if you don't want that, that's totally cool. But what I'm saying is I would venture to say that majority of us want more out of life. We want what? More money, more abundance, a better lifestyle, more time, maybe more muscle, less body fat. Like, let's just zoom out and be real here for a second. It's probably what we all want to a certain degree. And if you don't, that's totally cool. Again, maybe this podcast isn't for you. So that's what I want. So for me, the way that I see it, I need to take every chance that I could possibly get to improve. Why? Because otherwise, I'm doing my goals a disservice. And I'm very clear on the vision that I'm trying to create for my life. Very, very, very clear. So that could be the other side of this as well. If you're kind of lollygagging through life and you don't really know what you want to do, that's okay. But have you taken the time to really zoom out and figure out what that looks like? And you could just ask yourself like 7 times. This is a practice that I do with my clients a lot too. Why are you here? What do you want? Maybe we could go into that another day. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But does that make sense at all? Like, are you finding something from that? If you are, TikTok or Facebook, let me know. Because I think this whole thing is an extremely important topic that we need to grasp. And yes, I'm sitting on the couch with some coffee, hanging out, recording a podcast. I can't think of a better way to start my Saturday, to be completely honest with you. And I'm pumped because I'm going on a boat in a couple hours. So that's good stuff too, right? So that's what it is. What else did I have here for you guys? I really just wanted to talk about a couple things, not really a lot of information. I promised myself that I would do, 2 to 3 of these a week, and I want to be integral. And that could actually be another key point to this as well, because yesterday with my, I'm going to record that because this isn't recording. I should probably do that, right? But to stay on topic, because I have a tendency to rant, the title of this episode is Killing the Inner Critic and why that's important. And I told you at the beginning of this how we could do that. And I really do believe it always boils back down to keeping the promises that you make to yourself every single time, because it's less about the actual action in itself, but it's more about how you feel internally as a byproduct of the choices that you make. So as you listen to me say that, you're aware that you probably shouldn't be hitting snooze and skipping your workouts or having a bunch of pizza and all the shit that's not helping you get closer towards your goals, right? So then why do we do it anyway? Why do we compromise on that? And I'm guilty of it too. Like, listen, don't get me wrong here, okay? Like, I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm perfect in any way. I'm not. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Like there's been a lot of days that I have hit snooze. I think I want you guys to really understand this. The reason I am so passionate about coaching is because for so much of my life, I really didn't believe in myself. Honestly, I maybe on the outside felt really good. If you were to see me, wouldn't think anything was wrong. But like internally, I felt like I was always battling myself and like the way that I felt. And it just wasn't good. There was plenty of times where I would go through my closet to try and find outfits for going out. And I just would like try shirt after shirt and pants after pants and just never really liked the way it fit, honestly. And it wasn't like for my entire life. It was like a roller coaster of like years where I had like some years where I felt really good. And then there were some years where I didn't feel good at all. And I share that because I never want to come on here and make you feel like I have all the answers, because I don't. What I'm saying is like I'm going through a lot of experiences and I'm learning a lot of things. And as I do that, I want to share that information with you guys, because even if you're able just to take one piece of information from this and apply that to your life, like that's a win for me, because I recognize how how much the other coaches and mentors and people that I've learned from in my life, like how great of an impact that's had on me. And I want to do that because I've learned so much. Like I feel like as human beings, like that's what we're meant to do, is help and serve, you know? So back to the topic of it, because that's a whole nother rant, man, you know? But I really do believe, like, if you want to kill the inner critic, well, I don't think I touched on that actually. Why is that important, right? Why is what is the inner critic? The inner critic is the bitch inside of your head every single day that tells you to do all the things you're not supposed to do. Staying up late, pizza, video games, beer, all the shit, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your life. What I'm saying is like, if you really want to achieve high levels of success in any aspect of your life, like there has to be some level of sacrifice in order to do that. And the way that you start to kill the inner bitch and the inner critic is by taking actions that are going to push against that, right? So for example, instead of hitting the snooze button, you get up early. And maybe instead of getting up at the normal time that you get up an hour earlier. So what that's going to do is give you more time to work on the things that you need to be doing, which is what? Going to help you feel really good about yourself. And then when you feel really good about yourself, you're able to take that energy and that version of you and go apply it to something that maybe you wouldn't have done, right? Because for me, yesterday, I make the example of my meetings with my team members, my employees, right? And like normally, I always have an agenda, maybe a rough outline of what we're going to cover. But yesterday, I had the extra 30, 40 minutes to really sit down and prepare and make sure that fucking meeting was so good. And you know what? It was fucking incredible. And it was arguably the best meeting that I've probably had within the last 6 months. And I don't think that's a coincidence by any means. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in coincidence. Why? Because for me, it's always about preparation. And listen, you could disagree with me. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. I don't believe in luck. I believe, like, personally, my definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's not my quote, but that's like my philosophy on what I embody every single day. Because here's the thing is, if you sit in the back seat and you're always like kind of wishing and wanting things to happen, chances are probably won't, right? Can you guys resonate with that at all? I want some engagement. I know this is a Saturday. I know it's a weird time. I normally don't do it at these times, but man, like, this shit fires me up. If you guys could resonate with that, let me know. Cannoli64, Mark, thanks, bro. I appreciate you. What about IG? IG's a little slow today. So right now I'm filming a live podcast, recording it on a few different platforms here. We're over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We got TikTok over here, Instagram. Got my camera set up. I got my podcast recording. So that's what I normally do. Is like I like to multitask in the sense of getting things done simultaneously, because it makes me feel like I get a lot done, and it's really a good feeling for me. But that has nothing to do with the podcast, so I'm not recording this right now. But I'm going to hit the recording in a second, and we're going to get back to this. Okay. Now, this is I feel like I'm off topic here a bit, but I don't know, man. Like I woke up today. It's a Saturday morning as I'm recording this. I think this is the first time I've ever recorded a podcast on a Saturday, and it's just a different vibe. So I don't know if you guys like this type of setup where I'm kind of just rambling a little bit, excuse me. But if you do, let me know. But back to the topic of killing the inner critic, because when I was taking a shower yesterday and I was thinking about all these things and how much of a difference, like I said earlier in the episode, that this made in my life, like I really want to give that to you and just recognize that if you could make those decisions for yourself every single day of like actually keeping the promises that you make. If you think about this for a second, listen to, just give me 30 seconds to break this down. What if you actually kept the promises that you made to yourself for the next 2 to 3 months? What if every single day you actually got up when you said you were going to? What if you actually went to the gym, hit your workout, steps, macros, all of that, and you went to sleep on time and you got your water in, right? And you started to really stretch and meditate and read and personal growth and all those things. What if you actually kept your word? How much better would you feel as a result of that? How much different could your life be? How much of an impact would you have on others? I pause there for you to just reflect on that for a minute. Really just sit in that. Because we want all of these things in our lives. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, we want the money, the cars, the followers, right? The physique, all this, whatever it is. Because I myself want that too. I'll be transparent with you. But it doesn't happen by accident. It happens through relentless action. Relentless, messy, consistent fucking action. Killing the inner critic, killing the inner bitch that you have in your mind, it never goes away. And it's your responsibility to combat that and say, hey, like, I need to figure this shit out, because who's going to do it? And that is the reality of the situation here, is that nobody is going to be able to do that for you. Nobody. I myself, I am a coach. It is my career to help people with their goals, but I still cannot force that person to do what they don't want to do. I could say it till I'm blue in the face. Hey, here's the macros, here's the meal plans, here's the training plan, here's the communication support, yada, yada, everything. Like, quite honestly, I believe that our coaching program is second to fucking none, because we put so much work into what we do, and I have so much conviction in that. But ultimately, it still falls on the client. It still falls on you. So what I'm saying is, at some point, you have to take responsibility for that, because if you don't, the only person that you're hurting is yourself. Maybe I could do a whole nother podcast on that. But foundationally, I really hope you guys could grasp that quieting that voice in your mind happens through keeping those promises that you make and doing all the hard shit even though you don't want to. Again, for me yesterday, on 3 hours of sleep, getting up at 3 o'clock to work out when I didn't want to make sure that I got those 30 minutes with my coach so I could propel my business forward. And there's a whole other can of worms that I'm not going to open up on this podcast that came with that. But I did it anyway, because I knew internally it was the right thing for me to do. Was it convenient? No. But what do you think? Do you honestly believe that reaching incredible amounts of success in your life is going to be something that requires mediocre effort? Because if you feel that way, I'm telling you right now, you're sadly mistaken. Like, I've seen a lot of success in my life within the last couple of years, and I could tell you that it has been the furthest thing from easy. The furthest thing from easy. So I don't want to rant too much here. I could go all day, but I hope you guys got some value from this episode. And I really want you to reflect on, like, actually trying to take the initiative to work on yourself, because if you do, I think there's massive opportunity that awaits for you. And like I said, like, don't rely on other people. Take the initiative, take the responsibility, because for me, through personal experience, I could tell you that it could carry you so far. So thank you guys for spending a couple minutes with me here today. I hope you got some value from this episode. If you did, please leave us a rating. If you feel generous, we'd really appreciate it. And I hope you have the best day of your entire lives. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace, love, and protein. Let's freaking get it. And that's it. You guys are ridiculous on TikTok. All right, that concludes the episode. So that I just finished that up. Hey, I just want to, Mike, what's up, bro? I love you, brother. Thank you for popping in here. I've never done a Saturday podcast before. We just wrapped up, bro. I've been live streaming here for about 20 plus minutes. Just finished up the podcast recording. I think that was episode 305, I want to say, which is pretty crazy. The fact that I've recorded 300 podcast episodes over the last couple of years here. But yeah, man, this was really good. I'm going to go shoot some other reels for my editor this week to make sure that I keep pumping some content for you guys. But thank you for spending a couple minutes with me here today. I hope you got some value from this episode. If you did, let me know, and enjoy your weekend. Peace. Stud Beast. Mike, give me a ring soon, bro. But I got to bounce out. I got to do a couple more things here, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you.